well, the rear window's in. And it's probably not the prettiest of jobs. And it wasn't the easiest to do. Granted, we kind of missed a step along the way. But it's in. And I'm pretty sure it won't leak. About, I don't know, 90-something%, I guess. I gotta come back with a razor blade and clean up some areas like this right there. As well, I ran out of razors. Clean razors, at least. So I'll have to get some and come back and clean up what little areas. This is the old glass. You can see big old scratch right there. There's little spots here and there that, actually that came off, but there's little specks in it, whatnot, from I guess grinder marks from when I was taking the car apart. And back then, like right here, all those little specks you can probably see. And I didn't realize that you need to block off glass for grinding back in the day when I first started working on the car. Didn't realize those sparks would actually burn holes in the glass. I figured they'd just bounce off. But lesson learned, and well, eventually the glass will get replaced anyways. So the things you notice obviously are this monstrosity. Yeah, that's a big gap. And I don't know how this was originally, if this is just what had filler in it. I did put this quarter on, but to get it to fit, there was no blending blending this out where this metal would be straight, as far as I could tell. Maybe this piece was just put in a little bit too far and it should have followed this line. I'm not sure, both sides are that way. That side's way worse, but they both have a bit of a gap. That'll end up getting addressed with filler. Now, on to the funds. So if I'll go a brief run through of how I did this glass. There's tons of videos out there on the internet for how to do these, but in different methods. The way I did it was more or less the way Mustangs to Fear do it, which you put the gasket around the glass, you put rope, or we use weed eater string around that, and then you take this 8509 3M auto bedding and glazing compound, and you put it around the outside of the pinch weld here, and he also puts it on the gasket. They didn't do a rear window, they did a front, so I don't know if the gasket's different. I couldn't tell where he was putting it. We, to be on the safe side, put it in the pinch weld area, like right on top of the weed eater string, because that's where a bunch of people say to do it anyways, except normally they either do strip caulk behind the weed eater string, or they'll run the caulk gun along it and then put rope in behind it. We had already put the string, and originally on the video, he puts the rope and then he caulks around it, but it doesn't look like he's putting it in the same area as the rope goes. It looks like he puts it on the outer perimeter of what I didn't see a point in that, because you're already putting it around the perimeter here. It just seemed like overkill, which in the end, once you put the glass in, you rope it in, you get the gasket seated, and you walk along it, push it down, etc., etc. You go around the outside of the gasket and you schmoo up like crazy with this bedding compound all the way around it. I'm thinking we did way too much because we had so much cleanup to do. And you can still see it's coming underneath there. It's everywhere. There's no getting rid of this stuff. It doesn't set up. It just smears everywhere, as you can see. Can't see. There we go. Yeah, all over the place. Makes a mess. But anyways, so what you're supposed to do is after you do that, but probably before you go around the outer, once you get the glass seated and gasket roped in, probably before you do the schmooing, you're probably supposed to come along the inside, the glass side, and put this urethane stuff, which is what's in my caulk gun, which probably can't see the label on. Yeah, U418 Quick Cure Beta Seal. The sticker is over what it actually is. It's a urethane glass sealant. Now, you do not use that on the body side. You use it between the gasket and the car. And I'm pretty sure that's what they used on the glass before, because it had what seemed to be dried urethane along the glass. That's also what you use to glue in windshields that don't use these rope-in style gaskets. But anyways, that sets up. So that like glues the gasket to the glass, more or less. And then that bedding stuff pretty much just water seals everything around it. But you put that bedding all around where these screws go. Make sure you don't get water through those. And I pretty much just smooth that shit all along the inside of this and all along this. That's why it's coming through the rail like crazy. I want to make sure this thing doesn't leak. Not so worried about the stuff coming around the trim, because if you watch my videos, you know this is not the final stage. I'm just trying to get this car road ready, drivable, not leaking, etc., so I can get it to cruising and show off what progress I have made. But later on, it'll also come off again. Car's got to go to paint body. These trim pieces won't be black anymore. They'll probably get sandblasted or meat blasted and be left just a matte finish, just matte stainless or brushed. I might take Scotch-Brite and give them a brush finish. And I did scratch the shit out of the paint right here. When I put this on, it rubbed. Same thing up here. It rubbed there. And I screwed up because this, you probably can't see it too well, but the outside edge of this lip didn't really get painted too well. I painted the face of it, not the side of it. Didn't think about it. Anyways, so where we screwed up, we forgot the urethane on between the glass and the gasket. So we schmoed it up, we popped all the trim on, had it all tightened down. Grabbed a beer, celebrated because we got it done in no time at all. It was super easy. And then it hit me, we had another tube of caulk that had never even been used and saw what it was. I was like, holy shit, we forgot to seal the actual glass to the gasket. So then I had to look up how to pull this trim again because I couldn't remember. Broke out this little tool, which I think you can get this at like Harbor Freight or something. I don't even know, but anyways, you just run this along, hook the clip, and then pry back and it lifts the clip. You run it just like on the back side right here, in case anybody doesn't know. It's a bitch to use. You gotta finagle and play around with it so you don't bend these trim pieces all to hell. But walked it around, got the trim off. The trim pieces were covered in goopy goop, of course, because we had smoothed the shit out of it. And we had finished cleaning it all. Like, we were done, or so we thought. And I keep saying we, a friend of mine came over to help me handle the glass. And then help, pat it into place, because you're supposed to kind of open hand, walk the window, so you can walk it into the gasket and into place while you're roping. So we did all that and we had to pull it all loose, clean all the goop off, schmoo it around the edge, clean up the excess, repump it into the gasket, urethaned it. Then I realized you probably should have waited till you urethaned to go schmooing it, so I had to do the schmooing again because urethaning it messes with the gasket. You have to pry the gasket back. Sorry, the camera. You have to pry it back and put the caulk gun like in between the gasket material so you can pump it into where the glass and the gasket meet. But yeah, so that was fun. Anyways, that's done. It only took us, I don't know, like forever. It's 8:40 now. We were out here since, I don't know, 4, so it took us 3-4 hours to get everything done. But on to the other pretties. Carpet. Yay! It's so pretty, it matches the dash. Still working on it. I've got these holes punched. I gotta punch the holes for the seat over there on the front half. On to the issues I ran into that I discovered when I watched an auto restomod video. So if you watch the videos back when I did the floor pans and the seat platforms, I put lowered platforms in the car. I think they're out of like a Cougar or something, but they're like 1.5 inch drop. And that's so your seat sits lower in the car. You have lower center of gravity, tall people don't hit their head, have more headroom, whatever. Well, I plan on caging it, so I want some more headroom. And I like sitting lower in the car, lower center of gravity, etc. So, there comes a predicament. Your carpet's molded for the higher seat platforms. They don't want to sit right. See this huge gap here? Yeah, big gap. Don't know how well that shows on camera, but yeah. Big gap. That's it sitting normal. It should be sitting on the seat platform already, but it's not. So, you have to deal with that. Auto Restomod ordered a carpet for a 69, I think, Mustang, because the seat platforms are lower. However, they did mention something about the floor pans are different. So I don't know which way actually comes out better. But I'm playing around with the carpet. I think I can get it to sit decently. Come time, if I ever need to change the carpet later, I'll try a 69 and see if that works better. In hindsight, I would have sent this back and ordered the other kind if I had time, but I'm pushed for time now. I've got roughly 2 weeks left to have this thing drivable, and I'm waiting on blow-off valve spring right now to make that work properly so it's not just fluttering open at idle. My front windshield is jacked. I was gonna do the front windshield install as well, but the whole passenger side is just spattered with grinder sparks. The driver's side has a big rock chip in it. I remember getting when we had a hurricane, it was probably 10 years ago. I don't even know how long ago, way back when it was driving. And we had to drive it up north somewhere so it was away from the storm, the car wouldn't get damaged. And literally as soon as I got on the interstate, a big truck threw a monster rock at my windshield right after I got it installed, brand new glass. So I'm gonna call the glass shop tomorrow and hopefully get a new windshield. And I'm gonna just have them install it, since they'll probably be discounted or a deal if you buy a glass and have them install it too. I'm guessing, maybe not. But as much of a pain as the rear one was and as messy as I made it, I'd rather them just do the front. And I have the shop that does the alignment is right across the street. So hopefully they can squeeze me in. If not, I'll be seeing if they can order me a glass and get it here in time for me to install it. And if not, I'll be winging it and then throwing my old doo-doo glass back in. So that is it. No other progress on the car. Don't think anything else has changed other than me working on the carpet. Seats will be coming in soon. Still need to install glass. And I need to respray the trim on these windows still. But all right, that's it for now. Oh, there was one thing I was contemplating. So I don't think I want to put the trim back on these, but, sorry, camera again, these holes, but I need to seal them. And I don't know if I want to weld them. And I don't know if I like this just being flat and plain. I don't know if I just like the looks of it. And you got to do something with the holes anyways. So I started thinking on the idea of button head bolts in these, like studs. And I don't know if that would look tacky or good. However, the whole car's blacked out. I don't want to put stainless ones here, or at least not shiny, the silver shinies. I want to see if maybe I can find some black stainless or black oxide stainless or something, and maybe put those in, or maybe even anodized aluminum ones, black anodized, but just button head Allen bolts through all these. Let me know if y'all think that would look good. I don't know if it would look good personally, or if it would just kind of look cheesy, cheap, whatever. But it would plug the hole and give it a little more flare pop to the back. I don't know. Yeah. Give me your ideas. Let me know what you think. Otherwise, it's rolling with holes for now. But these are right at 1/4 size hole. If I got aluminum, I could probably thread it through and it just kind of mar the threads, but it would hold in just from threading them. The stainless ones would probably cut threads into it, if I had to guess, or I could run a tap through it just to be safe. And then put a nut on the back side, just a Teflon nylock, because there's not a whole lot of room, but should be enough to fit a nut there maybe. It'd be real snug. I'd definitely have to grind the bolt down flush once I did. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. A little later.